Good morning, friends. Now let's see one of the passage from Cambridge 16. So this is the reading passage 1. Okay, so you should spend about 20 minutes on question 1 to 13, which are based on reading passage 1 below. So this is the title: why we need to protect polar bears. Okay, so why we need to protect polar bears. Okay, so this is our title of the passage. So as we can see, ABCD is not mentioned, so we will quickly numberize the passages. Okay, so this will be number 1, this will be number 2, 3, this will be number 4, this will be number 5, this will be number 6, this will be number 7, and this will be number 8. So there are total 8 paragraphs. Okay, now let's quickly see the question type. So the first question type is true, false, not given. As we know, in true, if the statement completely agrees, then it will be true. If the statement contradicts, then it will be false, and if there is no information, then it will be not given. Okay, and the second question type is complete the table below. Choose the one word only from the passage for each answer. Okay, write your answer in the boxes 8 to 13 on your answer sheet. Okay, so these are the table given below. Okay, so now let's see our last question type, that is, okay, we have only 2 question type in this passage. Okay, true, false, not given, and complete the table. Okay, only 2 question type. Okay, so now let's quickly read our passage. First we have to mark keywords in our questions. Okay, so number 1, polar bears suffer from various health problems due to the buildup of fat under the skin. Polar bears suffer various health problems due to the buildup of fat under the skin. So these are our keywords. Okay, try to understand the question. Okay, what they are asking. They are asking polar bears suffer from various health problems due to the buildup of the fat under the skin. Okay, so we have to find is whether this sentence is given as it is or not. Okay, number 2, the study done by Liu and his colleagues. So we have to find these keywords. Compare different groups of polar bears. Okay, so the study done by Liu and his colleagues compared different groups of polar bears. Okay, number 3, Liu and colleagues were the first researchers to compare polar bears and brown bears genetically. Okay, so these are our keywords. Number 4, polar bears are able to control their levels of bad cholesterol by genetic means. Okay, polar bears are able to control. Okay, so these are our keywords. 5th, female polar bear are able to survive for about 6 months without food. Okay, so these are our keywords, female polar bear. Okay, 6th, it was found that the bones of female polar bears were very weak when they came out of their dens in spring. Okay, it was found that bones of female polar bears are very weak when they came out of their dens in spring. Okay, so these are our keywords. 7, the polar bear's mechanism for increasing bone density would also be used by people one day. Okay, mechanism for increasing bone density, mechanism. So these are our keywords. Okay, we have to tick our keywords. Okay, so we will find these keywords in our paragraphs. So in complete the table below. Okay, the title is reason why polar bears should be protected. What are the reasons? Okay, people think of polar bears as unintelligent and dash. However, this may not be corrected. For example, in Tennoji Zoo, a bear has been seen using a branch as a okay, in Tennoji Zoo. These are our keywords. People think of bears. Okay. However, look for these keywords. Okay. This allowed him to knock down some dash. Okay. Allowed him to knock down. Knock down means. So what is the meaning of knock down? Knock down means to bring something down. Okay. To bring something down. Okay. A wild polar bear worked out a method of reaching a platform where a dash was located. Polar bears have displayed behavior such as conscious manipulation of objects and activities similar to a dash. Okay. Bears may also display emotions. For example, they may make movements suggesting dash if disappointed when hunting. They may form relationship with other species. Okay. So these are our keywords. We have to look for these keywords in our paragraphs. Okay. So now let's quickly. So the first, polar bears suffer from various health problems due to buildup of fat under the skin. So now let's quickly read our paragraphs. Okay. Polar bears are being increasingly threatened by effect of climate change, but their disappearance could have far-reaching consequences. They are uniquely adapted to the extreme condition of the Arctic Circle, where temperature can reach minus 40 degrees Celsius. One reason for this is that they have up to 11 centimeters of fat underneath their skin. Humans with comparative levels of adipose tissue would be considered obese and would likely to suffer from diabetes and heart disease. Yet the polar bear experiences no such consequences. Okay. So here what they are talking, polar bears have 11 centimeter of fat underneath their skin. Humans with comparative levels of adipose tissue means fat only. Adipose tissue means fat. Okay. Would be considered obese and would likely to suffer from diabetes and heart disease. Okay. So human can suffer from diabetes and heart disease. Okay. But the polar bear experiences no such consequences. But polar bear will not suffer any kind of diabetes or heart disease. Okay. So in our first true or false. Okay. So in our first true or false, polar bears suffer from various health problems due to buildup of fat under their skin. No, polar bears will not suffer. Okay. So in passage they are talking about human beings will suffer from various health problems due to buildup of fat under their skin. Here polar bears is given. So the statement is contradicting. Okay. The statement is contradicts here. So we will write false. Okay. If in place of polar bears humans or individual word will come, then it will be true. But here polar bear is given, then it is false. Okay. So the next question is, the study done by Liu and his colleague compared different groups of polar bears. Okay. So now let's look for Liu and his colleague, this keyword in our paragraphs. Okay. So a 2014 study by Shiping Liu and colleagues sheds light on this mystery. They compared the genetic structure of polar bears with that of their closest relatives from a warmer climate. Okay. Closest relatives means, so what is closest relatives means? The species which share a recent common ancestry or have a similar DNA or anatomy. Okay. So this is the meaning of closest relatives from a warmer climate, the brown bears. Okay, so the polar bears closest relative is brown bears from a warmer climate. Okay, these allowed them to determine the genes that have allowed polar bears to survive in one of the toughest environments on earth. Okay, Liu and his colleague found the polar bears had a gene known as APOB, which reduces levels of low density lipoproteins, means LDLs, a form of bad cholesterol. Okay, in humans, mutation of this gene are associated with increased risk of heart disease. Okay, polar bears may therefore be an important study model to understand heart diseases in humans. So polar bears may therefore be an important study model. So polar bear can be an important study model to understand heart disease in humans. Okay, so I think this line is we have seen. Okay, so we will take this line. Okay, so now let's see our second question of true or false. So in this, what they are talking about, the study done by Liu and his colleague compared different groups of polar bears. He compared, okay, different groups of polar bears. But here, what they are saying, they compared the genetic structure of polar bears with that of their closest relatives from a warmer climate, the brown bears. Okay, so here also, the statement is contradicting with each other, because in paragraph they are saying the genetic structure of polar bears with that, they compared the genetic structure of polar bears with that of their closest relatives. Okay, closest relatives from a warmer climate, the brown bears. And in question they are asking, the study done by Liu and his colleague compared different groups of polar bears. Okay, so in question they are saying that different groups of polar bears, they compared the different groups of polar bears. But in paragraph they are saying polar bears are compared with brown bears. Okay, so the statement are completely different. Okay, so here also we will write false. Okay, I hope you understand. Try to understand the question. Okay, answers are already given in this book. Okay, but if you want to practice, then you have to understand the question, what they are asking and what is given in paragraph. If you understand this, then it will be easy for you to find the answers. Okay, so now let's go for the third question. Again, Liu and colleague is given, so this is only our keyword. Were the first researchers to compare polar bears and brown bears genetically. Okay, so now let's look further. So in this, so this is not given. Okay, in the entire paragraph they have not mentioned that they are the first researchers. Okay, yes, it is given that they have Liu and colleagues were the first researchers. This term is absent in the paragraph. Okay, so this is not given. Liu and colleagues were the first researcher to compare polar bears and brown bears genetically. First researcher is not given. Okay, so here not given will come.